Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, and I'm back with another figure review for you. And today I have a Neca figure. It's been a little while since I've done one. I just haven't been any Neca figures I've been wanting to pick up lately. But I have for you today the dog alien, as featured in the 1992 film Alien 3. I gotta say, right out of the package, I'm very impressed with this figure. I've been kind of vocal about this in the past, and I've had some difficulties with the Xenomorphs in the Alien line, as I love Aliens, my favorite movie, and I know they do the Alien and the Predators, and I need more Xenomorphs in my collection, but I've had a lot of problems with breakages with the Xenomorphs. No problems with the Marines or the Predators really, but the Xenomorphs are just all kinds of problems I've had in the past. But this one, it seems like, I don't know if it's just stronger plastic or better plastic, but this one seems like to be a really good, solid figure. I haven't had any troubles with this so far, just from moving it around a little bit. I'll give you a closer look at the figure, of course, in a moment, but first let's show you the packaging. Very standard Neca clamshell packaging that we've seen in the past. Nothing too special, but you see at the top the Alien 3 logo, and you got an image, kind of almost like a little mini poster in the back, which is cool. This is the dog alien. You see there, you got your warning, choking hazard, all that stuff. Ages 17 and up. So these are adult collectibles. They're not meant for younger kids. And cool image of the figure on the side, and same thing there. And we turn it around here again, you see Alien 3, and cool image there. I love the lighting. They do some great, I don't know who takes the photos for the back of the packaging, but they do a great job. Okay, and got description here. After narrowly escaping LV-426, Ripley and the remaining crew of the USS Sulaco enter hypersleep for the long journey back to Earth. But a crash landing leaves Ripley alone and stranded on the maximum security penal planet Fiorina Fury 161. She's surrounded by inmates whose double Y chromosome makes them the most violent men in the galaxy. But there's something far more dangerous lurking in the shadows. Something that may have been in her escape pod all along. And also available, there's the Bishop figure and the helmeted Kane figure, which that one is I'd like to get. Bishop doesn't interest me as much, but this would be cool if I haven't seen this figure yet. And then of course the alien, the dog alien. Okay, so there's the packaging. Just put this off to the side there, and I'll just show you, let's just bring this forward. Just a really great figure. Just the sculpting and the paint details that NECA usually does on their figures is so great. Just, you could just see, look at all the sculpting of like the arms and all the kind of body parts, the muscles and the skeleture of this figure. Just so well done. I love the sort of brownish color to him, and he has all over this like black wash to him, so it just really brings out the details. You can just almost hear this creature coming to life, just ready to just attack. Just so much just cool stuff there. And again, a little bit of throwback to the original film with the clear dome on this. It's very cool. Do a 360. And just the paintwork and the sculpting is just, it's unbelievable. The tail is really well done. We'll get a little bit more into that. You can see it's a very bendy tail. Again, when I go over the articulation, we'll go over that. But I just want to show you Just so cool. Just looking scary and menacing. One thing I want to mention, you can see it here. This figure includes a figure stand. Now you got this like clamp, and you can clamp it around the figure. I'm basically just kind of resting them with the tail just to kind of prop them up. But you could position however you want. Because this figure does, most of the time in the movie you see him in kind of almost like a four-legged like running pose, hence the dog alien. So it's good for if you want to get him in that all four-legged pose, like a running pose, and that'll keep him standing up. But I'm using it like this for the purposes of this review, which really helps. This is something I wish more of the Xenomorph figures would come with, is these figure stands, because they really can benefit from it. Because I mean, just because of the detail, just the sculpt, and just the way the character is designed, really benefits from a figure stand. Okay, so there's, really hope I'm giving you a good look there. Now we're going to go over the articulation. So we'll take him off the stand for a moment. And really cool. Okay, so now the head's on a nice ball joint, and it moves up. You can get decent amount of movement up and down, and can move up that much. It can go a little bit more. I'm just being very gentle with mine, like I said, because I've had problems with breakages in the past, so I'm just being very careful not to push it too hard. But it can go up a little bit more than this. It can go left and right, of course. Mine is kind of loose, but that's all right. Sometimes when it's too tight, sometimes I get worried. You feel like it's going to break or something. But you do have that movement, so all kinds of great range of movement there. The arms, you have ball joints, and they're tight joints, and they up, and of course down, up, forward, backwards. So great range there. There's double hinge joints at the elbow, and you can get swivels either way, so great range of movements there. Both hands swivel and hinge, so they will go. So you have all kinds of ways you could pose this guy. Same thing, both arms, same thing. You have a ball jointed torso, so you got a great up and down. You can look down and up, and so you got a great range of movement there. So you can really do some, get them looking in any position that you want. The legs are on ball joints, and they move now. They won't move out. That's about as far you can get, because you have this piece here, which obviously blocks it. It's just due to the design of the character. You can move the legs in a decent amount, but that's all you'll get, going this way. But you can go forward, backwards, and just pretty much wherever you want. The only thing that restricts it is this right here. Double joints on the knees, and then you also have the joints here, kind of the back portion of the leg, and the feet are also articulated down and up, and doesn't really rock, not much of a rock. You get a little bit of movement, but hinge joints, but you can move them, and you get that there. Okay, so that's both legs. So lots of articulation in the legs and the knees and the ankles and the feet. So that's really good. And the last bit here is, of course, you have the articulated jaw, which you can move out, and then you have the little inner mouth, which can come out. Not too far. That's about it. I've seen some where they go a little further, and A little more than this I would have liked, but some go a little too far, and that's not good either. And of course you can just push it back in. Get that mouth. It goes back in, and then you can take the jaw and close that up, so you can have the inner mouth out, or you can have it completely closed in. But overall, I would say great articulation. You know, sometimes the alien is kind of a thin character, so there are points where maybe you wouldn't be able to fit articulation points in, or you would think maybe you wouldn't be able to, but they did a great job of getting this guy articulated, or finding ways of getting those articulation points, and they're not. It's a good balance of they're not too tight, but they're not too loose either, except for the head. But that's probably just on mine. But there you go. You have, that's hopefully not the case with everyone's. I'll show you. See, we can get him like this, so you can get him in these kind of crouching positions there. You can move the head, so you can get in like that running position. Again, I'm just kind of playing around with it. You can kind of get the idea. So, but you could have him however you want. If you want him standing up, do it like that. That's up to you. You're the one posing it. Also, I mentioned the tail. Now, the tail is the one last part of articulation. It does have a swivel point here, and the tail, the rest of it is this real like bendy material. So now, obviously, be careful. You don't want to break it, but you can move the tail, and he bends pretty much throughout the whole thing, so you can really wrap it around. It's a very thick material, so I don't think you'll break it. Just I would worry about, say, here on the base where it's attached to the rest of the body. But it's very thick. I don't think there's a point you really have to kind of push it to articulate it. You want to do it with both hands. It's very strong, and it holds its shape. It holds its place. But you can see, you can really bend this tail in so many ways. You can get all kinds of positions, and however you want to do it. So that's really good. Sometimes the bendy tail is another thing that sometimes isn't done as well in the past. It's been done better. It's been done not as good, but this one I think is really well done. The figure stand again is really a great addition. It's a great thing that they package this figure with, because you really need it with these Xenomorphs. So overall, I think this is an amazing figure. Like I said, no breakage problems that I see. The joints are nice. They're tight, but not too tight. They're not overly loose. You want that sort of in between. I think sometimes with these bigger figures, you worry about if a joint is too tight. You almost worry it's going to break. You don't want to force it. The one fault with this figure is that the head is a little loose, but that's probably just mine. I just may have found a better one, but it's not a big deal for me. I could still get him in the positions that I want. You can get him looking down and left and right. Doesn't bother me that it's overly loose. It's not the preferred thing. I would rather it be a little tighter, but hey, I'd rather have that than too tight and then it's just brittle and just, breaks on me. But overall, this is an amazing figure. It's if you love the Xenomorphs, definitely add it to your collection if you can find him. I got this at Toys R Us, and they restocked recently, at least when I was there, and there were plenty of them there. There were, I think, like 5 or 6 on the shelf, I think, besides this one. So plenty on the shelves, at least right now. So hopefully it's not too hard to still find. Is absolutely worth it. This, I would say, as far as alien figures, this is probably my new favorite Xenomorph figure, even though I love the Aliens design the most from the James Cameron film. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this review. As usual, comment, rate, subscribe. And until my next video, remember, in space, no one can hear you scream.